Good evening to the global community of TVisions. It's a blessing and a privilege once again for your servant, Pastor Isaac Indego Nelson, to come to you this evening with my daily prayer bulletin. And today I am here to share with you a very interesting topic from the Word of God. And I would like us to read, and I'm titling my today's message or bulletin, We Can Still Do Better. We can still do better. And I will be taking my reference from the book of 2 Kings chapter 7 as we read from the verse of 8. 2 Kings chapter 7 verse 8. And when these lepers came to the outskirts of the camp, they went into the tent and ate and drank, and they carried from it silver and gold and clothing, and they went and hid them. Then they came back and entered another tent, and they carried some from there also, and they went and hid it. Then they said to one another, We are not doing right. We are not doing right. This day is a day of good news, and we remain silent. If we wait until the morning light, something or some punishment will come upon us. Now, therefore, come and let us go and tell the king's household. Then they went and called the gatekeepers of the city and told them, saying, We went to the Syrian camp, and surprisingly, no one was there, and no human sound, and only the horses and the donkeys, and the tent was intact. And the gatekeepers called, and they told it to the king's house inside. Then the king arose in the night and said to his servants, Let us now tell you, perhaps the Syrians have done, this is what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we are hungry, and therefore they have gone out of the camp and hid themselves in the field, saying, When they come out of the city, then they will catch them alive and get them to the city. The verse of 15. And they went after them to Jordan, and indeed all the road was full of garments and weapons which the Syrians had thrown away in their haste. So the messengers returned and told the king. Then the people went and plundered the tent of the Syrians. So a seah of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 seahs of a barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord. Now, this happened to be a very great and interesting moment in the Bible story, in which a man of God prophesied and predicted that there is going to be abundance in the city of Samaria. And the prediction came, but God never used angels. He used people, humanity. And interestingly, it happened that God used 4 lepers who were destitute, desperate, forsaken, and abandoned at the outskirts of Samaria. And these 4 lepers took the courage upon themselves that we have to go to the Syrians. Perhaps we will have abundance. And what caused this panic in Samaria? There was famine, great disaster, to the extent that people could even sell their children for food. And there was a need for a group of people to rise and battle and deliver the whole city from such kind of servitude. But it took the courage of 4 lepers to rise and go to the Syrians. And interestingly, when they came to the Syrians, the Bible says God caused their feet to sound like horses and chariots. Therefore, the Syrians heard and fled. And the lepers came and gathered a lot of booty, a lot of abundance, went and hid them. They came and ate. But in the process of hiding and running, they said something very interesting. They said, We are not doing right. For this day is a great day of good news. It's a day of good news. And we have remained silent. If we wait until the morning light, something bad will happen to us. Now, therefore, let us go and tell the king's house the great tidings that we have seen. And the lepers went and told the gatekeepers, and together with the king's entourage, they came and found that it is true. And all the camp was intact and a lot of abundance, food and everything. Today, by the grace of God, you and I have come to see abundance in TVC. You are very fortunate to be among the pioneers. And you have been able to gather a lot of coins, kringles. You've kept them in your wallet. You help your mom, you help your dad, you help your family and relatives. And after doing that, you have gone back to relax. And you are not thinking of the masses out there. You are not thinking of the people out there. Just as the lepers, after they have gathered enough and have hid them, came back and gathered enough and have eaten to their satisfaction, they never remained silent. They said, no, we have to go and inform the king's household what we have seen. And through these 4 lepers, the whole city of Samaria got their deliverance and salvation. You see, we have been fortunate to be in TBC early adopters. And we have used the benevolence and the good heart of the admin. We've gathered enough resources and enough coins. Some have 10, some have 100, some have thousands, and so on and forth coins. And we think because we have enough to satisfy ourselves and our future generation to come, it's okay. And we have remained silent. We have gone into silence, and we are no longer speaking to people. We are no longer calling people to come in there. You see, perhaps God brought you in the TBC to help your city, to help your country, not just for you alone. There are so many things that we have to take note in TBC before it gets too late. You see, if you read the TBC articles very well, you will understand that we have the master trustee, which is the admin's wallet. And you are the executive trustee or the sub-trustee, and you are the executive holder of that sub-trustee. And under the article of association in TBC, the community owns the coins. It's not for your personal gain. You are not holding coins for your personal use in future. Admin says, if we allow this thing to continue, then we are promoting the system that we are speaking against. Because in the current monetary system, the few elite have gathered enough money. They've kept it, quarantined the money in their coffers and the humanity and tower the suffering. And for that matter, the admin has brought another system to help decentralize and distribute wealth once again to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, so that across the globe, there will be that kind of equity and abundance. But we are still having the old mentality in our mind, thinking that those that are early adopters are going to be the billionaires, and those that will come late will suffer. TBC community never came to make some people Lazarus and make some people suffer. It is a global asset. The coins belongs to the community. And therefore, if you fail to abide by the rules and regulation governing the community, the system or the admin can call back the coins at any time, especially when we reach our liquidity. Yes, unless you are able to abide by the system and adopt the principle of sharing. The admin is promoting after you have gone through the whole articles and the public notice, you realize that there is that kind of atmosphere of oneness, atmosphere of sharing and love in this community. And therefore, don't be selfish, thinking you will be selfish and keep quiet, and at the end of the day, you alone will be a billionaire in that community. No, the lepers say we are not doing right. We've gathered enough resources, we've hid them, we've come together more and have hid them, we have eaten to the full, and we are satisfied. But our brethren are suffering out there. Therefore, let us go and inform them. The lepers took the courage. They went out and did a very massive publicity. They spoke to the whole community of Samaria. The city came in their numbers and gathered a lot of booty. And at the end, the whole city got its deliverance. When you alone enjoy, there is no happiness in it. But when you and I, you are enjoying, I'm also enjoying, we all celebrate, that is where the happiness lies. Go and ask the billionaires in this world if they find joy sitting in their rooms alone. No, they get the ultimate and the most joy if they are together with their colleagues, associating and making merry. Therefore, we shouldn't be selfish at this early stage. We should try and broadcast this good tidings. Cut across the oceans and the horizon of this universe. Everywhere that your mouth can reach, get there. Speak to people about this good news. Tell them that something great is happening. Look at how the global crypto and the global currencies are bleeding. They are depreciating and running steadily into the ditch, and everyone is wailing, and people that are crypto investors are crying. They don't know the future of the crypto market. And TBC is the king of all crypto because it stands strong. It never depreciates. If we go out there and tell people that there is a good news because there is only one crypto in the world that does not depreciate, people will begin to make inquiries and be curious about it. And as they come in, the community will reach our liquidity very soon. God is waiting for you to broadcast the news of TBC wide and far. The community is waiting on you to speak more about this asset that you have come to meet to more people. There are a lot of people out there whose destiny is tied up to your mouth. If you speak, they will be delivered. If you keep quiet, they will live in perpetual poverty. I don't know if you will be happy seeing such people dying in poverty and not having even enough clothes to cover themselves, dying in misery. In future, if you are placed before the judgment of God and they are brought before you and it is told that you should have led these people out of poverty, but out of your selfishness you failed, and therefore they died in misery and suffering, how will you fail? Therefore, we should try to be more benevolent, just as the community is sharing benevolence. You know, the millions of dollars we get every month when we renew our account is never worthy to the work we do. We don't do enough. We do just a little, but the community gives us enough. And therefore, we should see it to be a benevolence grace of God that He has given to humanity. And we should be willing to share this good news, be willing to speak to more people about it. Do your best. Not all people will accept, but keep talking. Keep talking. At least you've done your part. In future, they will mention your name and praise you because you introduced them into TBC and they failed. Just as today, some of us always, we regret when we remember those that introduced us into Bitcoin and we rejected. I always say, I made a fool of myself. If I have listened to my friend from Tanzania, by now I would have been a billionaire. He tried to push me into money, but I failed because I tag it as scam. But today I still mention his name. Anytime I do my broadcast, I recall the opportunity and the privilege I got but failed to step in. And therefore, I would like another generation to come and also mention my name, because as much as we talk to people and they fail today, in future, they will use us as a point of reference. And that will be a plus to you because you did your best. And therefore, I am encouraging everyone in this community that we can still do better. Though you have invited enough people, but you can still do better. Keep pushing hard. Keep pushing hard. Set a very great target ahead of yourself and tell yourself by the end of this year or by the end of this month, I want to hit this number of people under my downline. I want to let this number of people come into TBC. I want to introduce as much people as I can. And as I introduce them, I am going to train them. I'll give my time. I'll sacrifice as much as I can. Train them to come to the full knowledge of the community. And as you keep pushing hard, today your reward is less, but tomorrow your reward is going to be much. And the system will bless you. The people will bless you. The generation to come will bless you. And God will bless you. Thank you for accepting this good news and seeing it to be grace. You never came here out of your smartness. It was grace that located you. Help other people to also be located by grace. The good person sees good things, inheritance, he goes and then invite more people to come for. He don't hide it for himself alone. And this is the good news we have all come to see. In fact, all cryptos are bleeding. Only TBC still stands strong. Let's go and tell them that we have discovered the king of all crypto that never depletes. And they will come after you and they will invest. And God will bless all of us. At the end of the day, we shall all celebrate. The world must celebrate. The world must enjoy. The world must take its good inheritance that God intended it to be. Long live the admin. Long live our great ambassadors. Long live our wonderful broadcasters. Long live the mass adoption team. Long live entire TBC Globe. Till we meet again, I say God bless you. But don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to give this community 30 minutes of your prayer. If you do that, you'll be blessed much. Thank you. See you again next time.